Wow, Irish Republic 84 was here before me. That's pretty impressive. Congrats on being first. Yeah, I think I mentioned in my last live stream last night that I need to do my nails. So I figured, hey, why not do your nails, go live, chat with some folks, maybe play some videos, you know, just keep it chill. Just be chilling. As you know, it can be a process, and there's some that need to, more attention than others on these nails. So I'll be at this desk for a bit. I kept this polish on longer than I usually do as well, so it has started to chip. Been interesting. It looked good. I mean, they looked good, and they did last for 2 Sundays. So, do you? I mean, I don't even know. Doofus has been hanging around. He's been trolling me in chats, and now he's come to my channel, or she, but I think likely is a male. I don't know. Has a lot of questions about me, but offers no information about themselves as usual. Must be nice. Oh, dang. Yeah, are you gaslighting me, doofus? Or are you accusing me of gaslighting you? Either way, how dumb. I don't hate anybody. That's the answer to that. The answer is no. I don't hate anyone. I don't do that. That ain't the right posture to have. Hate is wicked. It's destructive. It destroys you far more than it destroys any object of your hatred. And it brings darkness into the world. It's an abomination. It's one of the worst sins you can commit. It's the opposite of love. Well, I wouldn't say it's the opposite of love exactly. But a lot of people only have hate to give because they haven't been born again. Hello, Big Sexy. Oh, Big Sexy's got a big hat. Dang. I don't really want to know anything about Doofus, to be honest. Doofus wants to know about me. I have I have no idea. Like, we aren't on Doofus's channel, hanging out watching. Hey, S.A. Brady. I love a good hat, Big Sexy. A good hat, It just pulls an outfit together like nothing else. Almost got all my nail polish off. I did dark nails too, so sometimes when you're removing darker nail polish, it can stain. Red is really bad too. Reds tend to get everywhere. And I noticed when I was examining my nails earlier that I had some snaggle nails that need to be filed down. Oh my God. Oh my God. Almost drowned here on screen. Wow. Give me a minute. I gotta go get some paper towels because I just sprayed water all over the wall in front of me, and a little bit got on my computer and stuff. So, yeah. Whew. Damn. Be right back. Whew. What a mess, huh? Those of you who made it early can now remember that you were there at the time I nearly died drowning on cam. God, what a mess. Thankfully, it's water. Ugh. Bubblelandia is saying that my look reminds them. I don't know, Bubblelandia, I don't know if you're male or female. Sorry. But yeah, it says I'm reminded. My look is reminiscent of Robert Palmer's "Addicted to Love" video. That is a pretty iconic video. I don't have the. I feel like all the models had their hair like tied back really tightly though. They did have like on the black turtlenecks, right? And the short skirts. It's a good look, you know, very classic. Lord have mercy. Wow. I want to tell you my name is Pat. Like it's Pat, Julia Sweeney's character. That was a girl. Yeah, you can't really get the full effect of this top. It's too dark. It's amazing. There's so much light and it's still dark. You're male. All right. Say Brady. I'm okay. I'm okay, y'all. Just had some water go down the wrong pipe. But I'm okay. I know water, like I choke on water way more than anything else. You got a shirt on too, Big Sexy? Dang. I've been asking you to wear a shirt for a while. So you got one now. Let's see it. Let's pull it up here, see if we can get a better look at it. Oh, nice. Nice. I love a good shirt. Yeah, I'm still, it got up my nose and stuff. So I'm just kind of, ugh. Well, anyway, where is my, I have so much stuff here. My friend got me some new tools as well for like manicures and pedicures. I got this like new foot spa, the kind that you put water in and it, you know, bubbles up, and it has these nice like rolly things. So it's been really nice to use. I used it the other day and like it was it was like getting a foot massage. It worked really well. It like broke up a lot of the tension in my feet and after that, I was able to give myself a pretty nice pedicure. They weren't painted yet. I'm not sure. I'm still working on them, kind of babying a problematic toenail I have. So, but they're looking, my feet are looking a lot better, and I should be able to start painting them again soon and have like really cute little toes again. I'm looking forward to that. Micro drowning. Yeah, it could be a new thing that people do, right? Micro drowning. Have you tried micro drowning? I micro drown every day. I was micro drowning consistently for 3 months. Make it happen. Okay, but where is my little glass file? Because that one's the best one. I've got my other tools here. It's usually here. All these pens on the desk. I should probably put these pens away. I did use a lot of pens on this piece of art. And usually when I have like a piece of art out that I'm working on, like a drawing, I just leave all the materials on the desk so that I can grab them and reuse them as I need. But yeah, this is a little ridiculous here. I have way too much stuff on the desk. And I can't find my file, which I need. Or any other files. No other files are sticking out here. I don't get it. Huh. Are there any on that desk? Oh, well, this one. So you use this one. Neti pot. Those things are pretty intense. I haven't really been sick like that in such a long time. I mean, I don't own a neti pot, but I have used them in the past. I haven't really been sick like that in a long time. If I think about it, like when was the last time I was actually sick, with a cold? I don't even know. I might have had, well, I feel like I get like occasional like bugs that really aren't that intense, but yeah, no, I haven't had a full on cold in a long time. Mm. Yeah, it's funny how those things pile up in the house, don't they? Yeah, I've been there. Things are like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to use that at some point, and then it's like, you've been here a long time and you have not been used. Sometimes they do eventually get used though, so yeah, maybe there's hope. Maybe I'll inspire you today to get your feet soaked. Yeah, I didn't use any sort of anything in the water. I just had warm water, let the feet soak. It was nice, super nice. Okay, how are my cuticles looking here? Not too bad. I tend to keep my cuticles pretty. I keep up with them. So generally just need a little work between paintings. So what else has been going on? So talk politics. Biden has agreed to step down, that he's going to step down and not seek re-election, which I thought was like super shocking, to be honest. And I think I said before, but I definitely feel that that's what's happened with him has been really, I don't know, it's just made me uncomfortable for a lot of different reasons. I know people his age that are still like active and they have a lot to offer. And I don't think that like because somebody's old that or an elder that they're not. I do think the elders are important people, people who are old. They've been around a long time. They've got experience, they've got wisdom usually. Although in his case, I don't know, his presidency has been a lot of people have not been happy with it for various reasons. I don't know, a lot of things I've been kind of pondering with that, and then just watching it all unfold and being kind of like, oh, this is not good. Because it's not just like, the thing of it is, it's like if he's not fit to be running for re-election, which I think is really bad form that a sitting president wouldn't run for re-election. Unless something serious has come up, which it seems like maybe it has, maybe he is dealing with some serious issues. But they've been like, I think they've been concealing this from us, that he's been so feeble for a while. It's very clear that they have. And it's like, okay, well, who's been kind of running the show? Who's been kind of the power behind the power? And he seems to have a lot of wicked people around him and his wife. I don't know. The footage of, after the debate with Trump, where where she was condescendingly praising him and coming across like his mother, even though she's younger than him. She's like, "You did so good." It was very cringy and embarrassing and emasculating. And now, yeah, they're putting forward Harris, or he's endorsing Harris. I don't know who the Democrats are going to actually put forward, if they're going to go along with Harris. I don't. Will not, won't, cannot endorse her for a myriad of reasons. So yeah, anyway, interesting stuff going on. Been having been feeling weird about it for days because they were talking about him stepping down, for a while before he actually did it. I was hoping he wouldn't. And I don't think he should have. I think to me it sends a bad message. But if they don't, I don't know, it seems like his party has no confidence in him. Yeah, salicylic acid's a really amazing product, isn't it? Amazing thing. Because it can be used for so many different things, I've noticed. And I like it as an ingredient in different things. It has that gentle kind of like dead skin removing quality, and it's also good for, shrinking pores, tightening skin. It's a good product. Santino coming in with a super chat, by the way. Thank you. Ring, ring, ring. I got a super chat. Like, ring the bell, share, and don't forget, subscribe. And become a member. I have channel memberships, and for the low, low price of like $1.99 a month, you can become a channel member and get a cute little badge by your name. You can become like a strange ally for $1.99. And it's a cheap way, like that's less than a cup of coffee, like to support me and the channel. YouTube loves it. So consider that. Something like that. Anything. I'm not really doing any members only content right now, although it is a possibility. We could do members only lives, or like special event maybe, or like maybe do like a more private video for y'all. Well, that's not very, that just gives me a bad feeling as well. Like, so she's not genuine. I don't really care either way. Like, I don't like her. I don't like what she's about. I didn't like her coming from like a radical Marxist perspective when she came in, and I don't like her now from any other perspective. Her father was a Marxist economist. Like, he's hardcore into that stuff. And they're estranged. He doesn't talk to her. I think that's pretty interesting. Geez, Irish Repub. I mean, I don't like that. That's rumors and slander. And you know what? I mean, it's just, I don't think, yeah. People said that about Nikki Haley. They say it about, like, it's just a way of like degrading women that are in, politics, I think. Because women in all kinds of industries do that, and then other women don't. And honestly, like, if men are that easily swayed and controlled by something like that, then the women who are cunning enough to use that deserve to get where they are, I feel. S.A. Brady says she's the least genuine person in the world. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's quite an accusation. Tomas coming in with the international perspective tonight. Terri, the nature of your country is tempestuous and disorderly. The prospect that there is a possibility that a badgering, supercilious hyena will be the head of the United States is disastrous. Well, I concur wholeheartedly with that statement, Tomas. And I like your description of her as a supercilious hyena. That's hilarious. Other people in the chat liked it. She's not a Marxist to the core. No, I hate, like, don't conflate this stuff with Marxism. Like, her father is a Marxist. She is not. Like, her she's she represents some very punitive sides of capital, and she's able to use her femaleness, her status as a person of color, a woman of color, a Black woman even. Never mind the fact that she is not the descendant of, like, chattel slavery in America. Much like a Barack Obama, he wasn't either. But they both use that kind of, Black American identity to do identity politics and to, it's a sleight of hand that people use. I'm one of you, but then they're not. Okay, people liked my comments about Irish Repub is like, lol, that's ridiculous. Defending mess because it's a woman. I assume this is regarding the accusations that Madam Vice President Kamala Harris has traded sexual favors for her position in the White House, and no doubt in other places. And I said, hey, if it worked, then she deserves to be where she is. Okay, men and women both need to hear this message. People can only get away with what you allow. All right? So if a man who's in the position to be, promoting a woman looks favorably upon that, is it her fault that she's, like, as a woman acting that way? I mean, yes, it is. It is her fault. But, like, at the same time, I respect people who get what they want out of life to a certain degree. I don't behave that way myself. It's not in my temperament. I'm a bit too, probably prudish and scared and just sensitive to live in the world that way. But I find it interesting to watch women that do. It is fascinating. It is and to see how they use sexual energy to manipulate men and to come out on top. It's fascinating, and it's a big part of like why men need to overcome like that in order to really gain back their manhood. But I don't believe she did. Okay, so I'll say that. I don't believe she did. I think that's a slander about her. And I think it's the kind of slander that people accept because they don't like to see women doing better than them, women being more successful than them. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts. I like that we're talking this stuff. This is a fun chat. I get to go off and like talk about different things. Isn't it exciting? Modern gentleman agrees that she's not black. Sorry, Babalandia. Let me read this comment. It's kind of a big one. Yeah, I know. She put a lot of people in prison, which maybe they deserve to go to prison. I don't know. You know, there's always that. But we have a lot of people in prison in this country, and we have more people in prison than anywhere else in the world. I mean, that's kind of interesting when you really think about it. This place has the most, I mean, maybe it makes sense though. America's an interesting place, you know. I'll never, again, the older I get, the longer I've lived here, the more fascinating I find this country. That there's such a paradox about it. It's the land of the free, but we have more people in prison than anywhere else. But I mean, to have free, you know, the freer you are, the more risk that entails as well. So you can't have one without the other, I suppose. And so there are other countries that have less polarity, but you know, or they have different polarities that kind of exist in their society. So it's interesting. Every country has its own polarities and contradictions. But anyway. Well, I would say, like, if somebody is a Marxist, I would say fundamentally their worldview is communist. They want to bring about, they want to move society towards socialism, eradicate class differences, and fundamentally, like, they see the world as the main division they see in the world is between the classes. So I don't, you know, economically speaking, they see the difference of an antagonism in the world between the proletariat and the bourgeois capitalist class. So there's this focus then on utilizing the power of the working class, the proletariat, you know, against capital, against the bourgeoisie, to reappropriate their, you know, private property and make it public. But this, she's not that. So every Marxist, I don't know, maybe, I think people use the term loosely, and they think that, and there is a level of truth to saying that a lot of the social justice stuff has been influenced by Marxism, but they take like a Marxist analysis where they're seeing things in terms of class and ascribing that perspective onto sex and gender, or like race or nationality or sexuality even. You know, people get into thinking, like, there are people, and I know people that believe that the liberatory class is like gay people, and the straight people, the heterosexual people, whatever you want to call them. And fundamentally, again, these are all false identities that this is based on. Even economic class is a false identity. So, like, fundamentally, I'm not a Marxist, even though I did identify that way for a long time. I just don't see it that way. I see, like, none of this is who we are ultimately, and it's dehumanizing to think in these ways. But oh god, I was finishing a point. Yeah. Oh, I was talking about, yeah, there are people who think that, like, you know, their enemy, they're gay, LGBT, whatever, lesbian, because the people I knew were mostly lesbians. That was the circle I had, and still have. I still, you know, I'm friends with a number of them because, you know, again, it's not who people really are. And you have to, like, see who people really are past whatever stuff they're caught up in. That's the most important part of them. And the more you see that and feed that in people, I think the more you overcome it in you, and you help them to overcome it. But yeah, they totally see, like, heterosexual people as their class enemy, essentially, and they feel oppressed. They feel that they are literally oppressed. And it's the same with, like, race. They take that Marxist analysis of economic exploitation of workers by, you know, bosses. They take that framework and they apply it to race or sex or so yeah, I see why people use the term Marxist to describe people that are doing that or playing off of that. And again, the us versus them mentality works. The us versus them mentality is so powerful. It is such a good way of consolidating power. You know, it really is. You have people fighting one another instead of recognizing their shared interests and identifying with one another, you know? And that's a problem in our country and in the world. These worldly identities cause people to get all caught up in stuff that isn't real and neglect what's really happening in the present moment around them with the people they interact with. And then they're easily exploited by the Democratic Party, mainly in the US. But it's not as if the Republicans don't do this as well, or they work with a different polarity. You know, they're on the other side sometimes, you know, against this stuff. And that's how they consolidate power, you know, by like, oh yeah, these people are crazy. Don't identify with them. Don't talk to them. Don't work out your differences with them. You know, come be on a side, pick a team, you know. That's just how politics works. So but yeah, I get why it's called, I get why people call it Marxism, but I just feel like it always bothered me. Maybe I need to let it go. Maybe that's just what this conversation is about. Maybe I need to just let that go and let people say Marxist in a casual way. I just feel like if you don't know about Marx, if you haven't read Marx, like, go into it a bit, get your own perspective on it so that you can come back and use that term in a, like, way that's edifying. If you, like, because you said here, like, What, I don't know what that means. Like, yeah, I wouldn't say it's everything he said. So, I mean, it's a good comment. Good comment. Good Irish Repub. Interesting fellow to interact with in the chat, I have to say. All right. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. That is a good way of putting it. Oh my gosh, I can't keep up with y'all. You are wild, going off. Falconing is here giving his impersonation of Kamala Harris. I'm a woman in a blue suit. I mean, she looks nice. I'll say I've not, that's one thing I can't say about her, that I think she looks she balances looking professional and feminine, you know, and also like that she looks like, I don't know, how do I put this? Like she looks all right. I don't hate the way she looks. I've never looked at any of her outfits and been like, ugh. Well, that isn't true. I don't want to say that. I think she appeared on The View and I didn't like what she was wearing. They showed a clip of it on JLP. And I was like, you're the vice president. What are you wearing? Because I'm critical like that, you know, so. But I have to say, her pantsuits are fire. You know, they look very comfortable, feminine, but like good to work in. You know, I have a couple of pairs of pantsuits. You know what? You know how I feel when I ride into the office in my pantsuit, or anywhere really. When I wear the like, I'm like, yeah, okay, girl boss time. I got this. That's what she's doing. So relatable. But I don't know. I mean, I would like to see women in dresses more. That's something I appreciate about like Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's like, she wears dresses. You know, she doesn't always wear them, but it's nice to see sometimes. I don't know though. I don't know. Like, oh, I don't know, but I could see it. Man, who should is okay? So instead of Kamala, though, who should the Dems put forward? What do you all think? I can't believe we're talking about this, but I'm this election cycle is exciting. This is like the best election cycle of my life. There's been so much drama. I'm like watching. I'm getting into it. Like I think that maybe 2000 I got into it like that. But usually I just don't care very much. I try to ignore it because it's all like propaganda. But there's been some stuff going on that's kind of like, what is going on? Okay, here's another one. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her, and I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit. Okay, I hate pronouns. I don't want to give you my pronouns. I don't want to know your pronouns. What are we doing here with the pronouns? Why do we have to talk about it? I also don't want to put it, you know, in on like, I don't want to have it up on my stuff. I don't want people already know I'm a woman when they interact with me. You know what I mean? I don't think I need to call more attention to it. I don't think it's like very dignified. There's something very off about it. And again, it's just, you know, we're all changing the way we behave to accommodate a very small minority. A very loud minority, but a very small one. And I don't think it makes much sense. If somebody calls you something you don't want to be called, tell them. Go up to them directly as a person and say, hey, I didn't like you calling me this. Could you call me this? And they can respect that or not, but like be enough of a person to like advocate for yourself. Like, how are you ever going to get out of like you're this different person, right? Supposedly different. Everybody's different, right? I'm strange, so I know what it's like. But what are we doing? Like, what are we enabling the kind of weakness in people that like they can't advocate for themselves or speak up for themselves, or everybody else has to change how they're behaving and what they're doing? It doesn't make any sense. It's really, well, I mean, it's personality disordered as hell. It's like really, it's like being in a big narcissistic family, right? And I don't know, let's just say mom's narcissistic because that often happens, but like the level to with which everyone has to like accommodate this person's crazy, instead of this person have to overcome their crazy, everybody else is just like zooming around, walking on eggshells, trying to avoid tipping off the crazy person. Irish Repub says, same with the abortion thing, not for you, but for others, it's okay. It's a cop out. Well, I believe abortion should be decriminalized. I'm not for like legal. I just, I don't. Great. I mean, I don't even think of it in those terms. I guess I don't even think of it in these terms. Kiwis are not tough, but I've heard they're full of oxalates. Like they're one of the worst. I've heard that they're like one of the worst fruits you can eat because they are so full of oxalates. No, I'm doing my nails, baby. I know. Hey, don't dig your claws in my clothes. That's not right. Wait, what is this in response to? If she saw you by that tree, she tried to give you a ticket. If who saw me by a tree? What, Kamala Harris? I don't know. I'm sure it's funny, but I'm not getting it. I like this. Joe Biden character has been taken out. Yeah, he's getting written out of the story. I don't know. It's like, it's kind of a sad. I feel like, is this the end of this is going to be the end of his career. I mean, what else is he going to do after this? I mean, I don't know. There are other avenues he could be involved in, and there are other ways that he can work in politics, I suppose. But like, he's stepping down from the top. I don't know. What do you go back and do? And no doubt this has all taken a lot of toll on him. Like, this has no doubt been stressful for him to deal with the way people are talking about him. I can't imagine that that's been comfortable for him to deal with, on a personal level, as a man, as a person, as a man, as a man means human, as that's going to be challenging to deal with the way he's been perceived. Sometimes it can be very humbling and hurtful. You have to get over some pride, ego, no doubt very painful. Modern gentleman, oh, how do you know what her S-virtual energy is like? Like, this is just like what you're getting off of her from your perception of her, but like, come on. You haven't been in that kind of, situation with her. This is just what I think your imagination is doing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't following that election too closely, to be honest. I really didn't follow the last election closely. So, but I think, yeah, she was running as well. I don't remember listening to. Why was she running? Like, really? I don't know. People just run for president. I'm like, who are you? Why should you be president? Like, and that's how I feel about her, I guess. I'm like, why should you be president? I mean, she was elected vice president, That's the thing. She is technically, I mean, I don't know what I think about the last election, to be honest, but she was elected, officially speaking, and she has been in the position to potentially become president, at any point for years. So she no doubt has some idea in her mind what that would entail and what would be how she would, I don't know how she would step into that role. She's probably been prepared, but so has our President Trump, former President Trump. So, yeah. You don't think that Jill is going to make him do more? I don't know, maybe I'm hopeful for him now. Like, I know it's like, I was all like, oh, the death of his ego, the way people perceive him. I feel bad for him, but it might be the best thing for him in the long run. He may actually enjoy himself more, which he has, he's in his 80s. He's been blessed with many decades, and I think his final years should be comfortable and exciting and doing whatever he likes. Why should he be responsible for so much at this time in his life, too? I wonder. And we need younger people to step up, really. There's been a real lack of that. What? Honey, I'm doing my nails. I can't pet you when there's goo on my nails. Your little furs will get stuck all over my nails. You don't have to wail like that. Ugh. He does the, hey, come on, stop. He does this wail that is just heart-wrenching. He knows exactly what notes to hit to just like, ugh. I appreciate having a foreign perspective, especially foreign people who live in the US. The ones I've known have given me a lot of insight about this culture and this country. It's nice to have an outside perspective, especially one that's like familiar, more familiar, dealing with it, seeing it, living with it, contemplating it themselves. Oh my, Bubblelandia. I don't want to put that up. That's very well, I don't know. I can't. People follow America around the world. People like keep up with America, what's going on here, a lot more than we keep up with what's going on there, by and large. Like, and so somebody who is foreign and who's living in a country, like, has no doubt been familiarizing themselves with America in a scholarly way for a while. And that can be helpful. I think, yeah, outside perspective. And who knows, sometimes the people that come here and work fall in love with the country and stay, because there are really amazing things and possibilities here. So I don't know. I mean, for people I've known, they can live way freer lives here than they do back home. They can be more comfortable. They don't have to deal with the same things. There's something uncomfortable about it, but then the benefits of being in this country, when you have an outside perspective, often brings people in. So I don't know. They are not men. They are simps. Yeah. .5, that's gross. That's true too. Yeah. I remembered I found that I did have some Dutch ancestry when I did my I did my family tree a couple of years ago. I was like looking it up and putting it kind of together. And actually my uncle, consequently, he sent me a binder with like the same information after I'd done this. Like, I'd done it on my own, and then he happened to like have it all. It was like on ancestry.com. You can go on and track and do that kind of thing. So yeah, I found like I have ancestry, and it's on my father's side, but this couple came over in like the 1780s, I think, maybe sooner. And they've spawned like over 250 different families, like, and they have like, I don't remember how many descendants now, but yeah, it was interesting to find that out, that somewhere along the line there had been these people, one of their kids ended up, marrying this person, and then, on and on and on. So there's like a monument to them. I have to look this up again, but yeah, they have a monument to this couple. It's interesting. And yeah, I mean, New York, oh, New York was once New Amsterdam. And a lot of the streets in New York have Dutch names. So yeah, there's still kind of a Dutch influence there, and I get why the Dutch, I mean, settled in that area. To be honest, when you look at the landscape of it, I bet just from what I imagine about Holland, I imagine there's some similarities. But anyway, I didn't hear that, Santino, but like, I mean, do you think they should? It was a moment. It definitely was a moment. It was a moment. Maybe it should be on the cover of Time, but I don't know. I mean, what is Time? I don't think I've ever bought, personally, I don't think I've ever bought a copy of Time. Like, it's not relevant to me. So when I'm thinking about this, I'm like, yeah, maybe it's the type of magazine that should have that on it, but would I even buy it and read it? Probably not, because I never have for any reason. Any event or person or thing on it has never like enticed me to get one of their magazines. Gregatron is here. Hi, Gregatron. Posted some workout video. Who's mildly attractive? Are we talking about Kamala? My goodness. My goodness. Now I'm kind of intrigued. Like, let's look it up. Should we do a rating? I put the base coat on. It's almost dry. It's still a little bit, but yeah, let's pull this up here. Let's look. I'm just gonna pull up Google Images and look at her and see, is she presentable? The things y'all intrigue me into doing. This is fun. Okay. Here she is. Our Madam Vice President and potential Democratic nominee for the 2024 election. Honey, hey, stop it. Stop. What are you doing? Come on. What are you doing? Lord, y'all, my cat. Y'all love him though, right? We love Nero and his interruptions. He's always got to make his entrance. Okay, let's see here. Adjust my camera to get out of the way here. Okay. What else have y'all been saying? Tomas, sometimes your comments remind me of like Victorian men describing like women, the change in women's attire. I remember reading accounts of like description of when bloomers came into fashion for women and the like very harsh criticisms that were made about them. Oh my goodness. This is repulsive, Terry. This is not a soap. This is American politics. Honey, what's the difference? That's right. I know. Worst soap opera ever. It's worse than Passions. But what is this? Why? I already answered this question. Like, what's with you? But, rude. God. Okay, so I do like that color of pink. I like to wear that color of pink. Okay. I mean, yeah, I think she looks. That is not a nice photo of her. I'll just say it's kind of, but I mean, it's not terrible either. I do like the pearls. I like the American flag pin on the lapel. I like the pink suit. I like the color of it. I like this. I think that looks nice. Let's see. Okay. Oops. Okay, let's see. There's that key smile. Yeah. Oh, I don't like this image. Joe looks terrible. Joe looks terrible. The suit, I mean, I don't like that color. She does look, I mean, they're nice suits. But yeah, I'd like to see more variety. I think something like this, I mean, a bit more classy. I like the blouse. I like, yeah, more than like something like this, although that looks like it might be warmer. I don't like the color. I don't like that kind of blue. I would say she picks good tones though for her coloring. Although I would say she looks better in classics like black, navy, tan. She looks more like she's a working politician. I don't like the really garish colors on politicians. I don't. But I do, yeah, I prefer like the hints of femininity where she has like a scarf or, I mean, she does wear jewelry, but I think too, some of it's garish as well. Like some of it's kind of costumey. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to think like when you think about a woman in a position of power, like what should she be wearing? And I've been thinking about Margaret Thatcher lately. So like let's pull her up. So that let's look up Margaret Thatcher. Because I was saying she's an interesting case because she was the leader of the the conservatives for a long time, but also like prime minister for 11 years. So let's kind of look at her comparatively, just because the British are like closest neighbors, I suppose you could say. Gillian Anderson played her in what, The Crown? Oh my. I did see some clips of it. Oh, here's a picture of her younger, kind of when she was starting in politics. I like that. This is, okay, here she is. She looks very stern and commanding in a way. That hair helps. That's her family? Yeah, that's her family. Not getting the outfit so much. Here she is with Reagan. Okay, let's look classically. Oh, I love that dress. I would like to see, I would say I remember her wearing skirts. She was a lady, and I think that's kind of part of it too. Like Kamala doesn't command the same kind of, I mean, she wasn't a lady. I'll put this. She was and she wasn't, right? In terms of like their class system, she's not an aristocrat. But she was very much able to kind of project that kind of authority of a woman leader, like a woman who would have command of something, like she seems like she's from that class of people where she would be commanding, in terms of directing things, able to do that. She gives that. And there's a respectability about the dresses as well. Like this dress is really a good choice. So yeah, I remember I liking the way she would dress, what I've seen. And I'm like, well, and I know she had a lot of coaching. I remember she did have a lot of coaching about, especially as she started to grow politically, about her voice, her demeanor, and also, the way she dressed, even, the way she did her hair, all of that stuff was very important in terms of appealing. So yeah, Kamala does struggle with that. Interesting things to note. Interesting things to note. What did you all think? That's terrible falconing. God, how grim. Who says that? And why are they saying it? I am way behind. The tree I used to smoke by. I see, okay. Tomas, stop it. Y'all in your imaginations. I disagree, Resonate. Resonate, you're saying some crazy stuff tonight. He says we need to cap the age at 65 for public office. I don't agree with that at all. Why would we cap people with that much experience from holding public office? If they're fit enough to do it, why not? I think we need both. We need younger people and we need older people who know how to like work together. Oh, man, it hurts. Yoda's here. Hi, Yoda. America is amazing. Amazing. Wow, okay. Terri looks like white wine. Huh. All right. BRB, yeah. Who cares what she looks like, though? I mean, it is important. I mean, especially like as a woman, yeah, it is important. If you're in like public office, the criticism about how you look is it can be very challenging for women to navigate. You know, they need to be mindful of that people are perceiving them in certain ways because of the choices they're making about their makeup, about their hair, about their jewelry they wear, what they're projecting with their image, whether it's, you know, something of authority or something that people don't respect. You know, it's, you wear the wrong thing to the function, you know, you're embarrassing yourself. And indeed. Yeah, indeed. Well, all eyes are on her. Yeah. We don't make threats. We carry them out. We carry them out. Yeah, she had a way about her that was kind of funny, didn't she? It's amazing to me she's so hated. Like, she wasn't that hated. I mean, she was. She was greatly loved and she was also greatly hated. So with great love comes great hate. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, you're going to be a polarizing figure for sure. But she was so, well, I don't know, she did. You're like, women don't belong in positions of power. And I don't agree always with that. Because sometimes, you know, people are put in certain spots to do things and they're the only people capable of doing it. So I can't say that, you know, I mean, just looking at it, that it's wrong necessarily. But, you know, where's their life at? What's the priority? How does it work? That's really, to me, the big challenge. I know, just trying to get my attention. I just trying to get some mess out of me. That's a good point, Stacy. Almost single-handedly creating the thriving punk scene. I know. I know. You know, people have to be more creative when, I mean, yeah, it's an interesting time in that country. They've really turned the economy around. Whether you agree with what happened or not, like, they got it done. They changed the face of the country. They took it out of the previous era and into the 90s. All right. Which was when I was started even paying attention to all of this. So it's interesting to me. Like, oh, dang it. To do another coat here. When am I free? I'm never free. Do you mean when I am available? The 90s, what a time to be alive. Oh, Lord. They weren't that great. Let's not kid ourselves. But, oh, there was a lot of good going on. I just think sometimes there are exceptional people that should always be made exceptions for. And I think of like Margaret Thatcher. I don't think her leadership was a bad thing. I think it was overall beneficial. So I guess that's what I'm kind of getting at here. Like, she was a unique person. She was an individual, unique individual. So I think to whatever extent a person is gifted in some regard, it should be made way for. You know, we shouldn't impose on one another too strongly. What does that mean? I think I've heard JLP say that. I know. Perhaps that's true. We had some innocence about us. That was it's such an interesting idea, the innocence of children. How innocent are they? I wouldn't say they're innocent, but I would say they're vulnerable. They're vulnerable. Easily swayed, easily manipulated. The innocent, I don't know. So I think it's like, maybe not so much their innocence that needs to be protected as their being, you know? That in turn will protect whatever you think you're getting at. Oh my, Falcon. I shouldn't even have that up, honestly. Whoa, that's an intense statement. Whoa. Brexit was interesting. That was an interesting moment. Like that 2016 was Brexit, right? The year that Trump was elected. People were upset there and people were upset here. It's kind of interesting parallel. And I had friends on both sides of that living in the UK, I have some friends in Scotland, friends in London, and they were on different sides of it, obviously. So it's kind of interesting to watch. I was kind of pro Brexit because I was like, after watching the EU kind of like destroy the Grecian economy, and just to see the power that they had over nations, I just felt like I felt it was the right thing for England to get free, to get itself kind of back on track, to run itself. Yeah, Yoda is pro Brexit too. Yeah. And yeah, I mean the British they have their connections in the Anglosphere and the Commonwealth, really. They're not without options. Economically, they can make their own arrangements with other countries, how they see fit. Tommy Robinson, I haven't heard of him in a long time. That was interesting. There was a call today on JLP about loneliness. I thought I want to touch on that. So, yeah, that was an interesting topic. This woman called in and said she was lonely. I wonder, like, am I lonely? I'm like, what does it mean to be lonely? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't feel lonely. I guess I don't know what it means. I feel alone sometimes. But I'm not. I'm not alone. That's a deception. And like, and then, I have the cat as well. Somebody I remember in the chat had suggested she get a cat. And I was like, yeah, he interacts with me. So even if I don't leave my home and I like, my only interactions are like on the internet or at work, over the internet now, since the work from home economy is booming. Oh, I can answer this question. This is a good comment. So, the reason for this, because they talk about like a male loneliness epidemic, and actually I've talked about this with other women. A lot of it is because men don't make the kind of social connections women make. They don't, a lot of the times they keep the friends they've always had. And, as time goes on, people move away. They don't really make new friends. They don't network regularly, They kind of get, at some point in their lives, they don't accumulate more people, I guess, to replace the old or whatever, however you want to put it. But yeah, like, I think women are more apt to do that. They're more apt to get themselves into situations and make friendships. Yeah, I mean, that's me too. I'm very introverted, I don't enjoy, I mean, I don't know. That isn't true. I wouldn't say I'm very I am introverted, but am I very, I can socialize. I get something out of socializing, but I do need my downtime, I need a lot of downtime. I can't be dealing with people all the time. It's too much. I can do little passive interactions like, oh, hey, how are you, neighbor? Or, going to a shop or something. But, really sitting down and being like in the presence of another person, it's not like, and, giving them my full attention. It's something that takes a lot, and I need time, when I love seeing people, but then I need time to also, rest from it, I suppose. Interesting. I know. Thanks, modern gentlemen. It's true, though, and it's interesting to me that people try to devalue women in order to get our company. It's interesting. Well, not all do. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why anyone would work for something fake. Oh, that's nice, Yoda. That's nice. It's also nice to just be home. I don't have to be out in, all the time. Interesting comment. It is work. I agree. A lot of men are draining emotionally for women. Like, it's like men, because they are that, positive, on the positive side, masculinity is on that like positive side of the spectrum, and femininity is on the negative side. Like, men go to women to like recharge themselves. Not all, not all, not all, but a lot of them. It's like women are their drug of choice, they don't know how to get that for themselves. So they use women to do it. And those kind of men are extremely draining to deal with. And that's most men. And even like if you're not intimate with them, even dating them can be really draining, just like being across from them in their presence. Because they don't know how to feel. The only way they feel that is with women's energy, with sucking it out of the feminine. Do women find relationships easy? I've never found them easy. I don't think they should necessarily be easy, though. I mean, what does easy mean? I think they're work, generally. And we kid ourselves if we think they're not. But I mean, like, work is rewarding. It's the kind of work that's fruitful. It's the kind of work that can make life very pleasant. It's the kind of work that enriches a life, So interesting subject matter. Oh my goodness. Hey, Missy Mod. I look beautiful this evening. I'm not feeling that beautiful. Thank you. I feel kind of silly. So thank you. I felt like doing my makeup kind of differently this morning. And then I ended up not liking it and then putting on more than I wanted. But it was nice to use some stuff I don't usually use and kind of get out of my kind of rut I've been in doing my makeup lately. But I feel like, I don't know, it's not terrible. The blush is a little much, but I do like blush a lot. I think I'm kind of, though it's can look a little silly unless you're really, really well done up, which I'm not entirely. Maybe slightly. What do you all think? Tell me I look great. Oh my God. She's in a rut. Okay. Yeah, I kind of am. No lie. Put on some leggings. Oh Lord. What the kind of men who flock to you when you do that are not the kind of man you're describing who has all these things, honestly. You don't pull very high quality men by leading with your leggings. A man with virtue isn't going to see that and be like, yeah, that's that's what I want. Oh, I hate when they do that. It doesn't happen to me much because I generally do have a smile on my face when I'm out and about because I'm just happy, you know? That's generally my disposition, honestly, like, especially when I go out getting some fresh air, I'm going to go do something I enjoy. Like, I'm getting, out of my little, it's not a little cave, it's a nice sized cave for this tear bear, but, getting out of my little world and seeing the rest of it, it's usually, it makes me happy. And I generally just have that kind of disposition towards happiness. More than some people have a more miserable disposition, but that's not mine. Mine tends to be more optimistic and positive. So I generally have a smile on my face. So it doesn't really happen to me. But yeah, when I was younger and more moody, it would happen a lot. And I found it so offensive. It's so invasive. It's so rude. And then when I would like talk to people about how I didn't like it, because it would happen, like I would get the most stupid, comments about it. Just it's just rude. It's rude to be so invasive with another person's personal energy. Like, why are you so? But then again, I think it's the little boy in men that's looking to mother for approval in a certain way. And so they want to be the thing that cheers you up, like, but I don't know. I find it condescending and rude. It's very rude. Especially, I don't know. But yeah, it hasn't happened to me a long time. Could also just be being older. Not that I don't get comments or harassment, when you're, at least when I was a very young woman, it was a lot more constant, just all kinds of foul things being said, or just, so you're already on edge about that. And then you also have guys telling you to smile. It's a bummer. Oh, you like the blush? Okay. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you do. There are men that do, but a lot don't. A lot don't. Well, I don't know. Oh, why would they do that to her? She looks pretty when she's not smiling. I mean, she looks pretty when she's smiling too, but Terri, your relationship or your opinion on relationships is concerning. Have you become too accustomed to being single? What an interesting question. What do you mean? What about my opinion on relationships is concerning? That I view them as work? That's what I remember of what I said, but maybe there's something that I said in that you are concerned about. I don't think work is a bad thing. I like work. I don't see it as like, hmm, hmm. I'm being compared to Ava Gardner. That's interesting. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. I know about Ava Gardner. I know what she looks like. I don't know why I'm reminiscent of her. It's interesting. Hello, Maina. Doing all right. Just doing my nails. Men do not wear makeup or have elaborate hairstyles. No, and if they do, run. Point fire is stop. It's funny. It's funny though. It's funny, but all right, so we've got the green nail polish on. First coat. When you're alive and on camera, your stance changes on makeup. It did for me. You know what? My stance on makeup kind of changed when I got into Shira 7. You know, I started listening and following her work, and she talked about the importance of wearing makeup for your own psychology. Um, and I thought, well, let's just give it a try. You know, let's do it. I felt like my life was changing. I had like moved from my old place. There's a lot of energy there that was just dark. And then I got this new place and I decided I would start wearing makeup, like just as a part of this new life I was stepping into, who I was going to be. I decided to like embrace my femininity more. And part of that was putting on makeup. I don't always like come on with makeup. I don't think I need to necessarily, but like I like to be in the habit every day of doing my makeup. I like to get up and have that time where it's just attention on myself, you know, focused attention on myself, where I'm doing something that is superficial, maybe, but like for me, it kind of helps set the tone for my day. Like the doing my makeup, getting dressed as a woman, like really fully showing up, especially working from home as well. Like it helps me be prepared to be more normal and not just kind of like get sucked into a cocoon like a lot of people do working from home. I can't keep up with the chat. Hi, Rome. Rome is here. Yeah, it does. Slave paint. Well, that was Leah's term. Leah's term was slave paint. But it got attributed to me because she said it with me. She still doesn't wear it. She's still very against it. But she forgives me. She forgives me for being a hop, I guess. I already answered that question, doofus. Heck yes. Heck yes. Makes her look cheap. My goodness. Do you know how much this cost? It costs a lot of money to look this cheap, sir. Can you afford it? How about that? Rude. You don't look cheap when you wear makeup. You look expensive. You ain't getting me on that. What the heck? Oh no, missing mod. Missing mod. Thank you, missing mod. Yeah, well, yeah. Like, all right, Nufus, we'll have a good night. It's just most men's opinion. Most men, I'm not interested in most men. Then, like, that's ridiculous. And it's, I mean, I do see it, but like most of the men I hear say stuff like that are like, you know, crazy. And like in reality, they do like a bit of makeup. Missing mod is Vasco. Okay. I don't think it is Vasco. But there are similarities. It could be. Maybe you're right. That's true. That's true, Stacy. Like I wear a lot less than some women who look natural. Like this is a lot less than a lot of women who look natural are wearing. They're just wearing so much, you know. What is going on? I'm kind of painting sloppily here. Oh, well. Yeah, I am painting my nails or something. I understand why a man would prefer you without makeup, but he has to just secure what it takes to get you without makeup. You know, he has to do what it takes to secure that side of a woman, I think. I mean, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal, but I prefer when I go out in public to be fully put together. If I'm leaving my house, my hair is done, my makeup is done, I am wearing jewelry, I am dressed properly. You know, if I'm leaving my front door, nobody's going to see me looking crazy. All right. I'm going to look like I put myself together. So, and that like I take time and make an effort with my appearance. I think that's important. It says a lot about a person that they take time and make an effort, especially for women. It says something about, you know, their level of concern for themselves, you know? It's about standards, you know? So for me, it's just a standard. If I'm going out, I'm going to be fully done. All little checks made. I mean, I didn't do it for many years. I thought it was wrong. It was against my extreme wacko feminist politics. And for me, it's now just enjoying being a girl, enjoying being girly and feminine and superficial to a certain degree. Focused on that because it's not, there's a place for it, you know? Blessed be he. It could be blessed be he. Yeah, maybe. God, chat is going so fast. Yeah, that's how I see it. I'm also like a dramatic kind of person, you know, I'm an artistic kind of dramatic type. I like to have a more severe look, I suppose. Okay, I don't know why you're so fascinated with me. Was I into BLM? I did have a Black Lives Matter shirt that I purchased in like 2017. I did have a shirt. It looked good. But by 2020 I was over all that. No need to disrespect her, but it's freedom of speech. What? This, I don't know. Should I kick this person? I don't know. What do you all think? I don't like this. It's weird. Bobby Brown. I love Bobby Brown. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that is a thing. I wonder if Doof has been smoking pot. I know. Smoking pot, investigating me on like Encyclopedia Dramatica or something, looking me up to get a sense of what a problem child I am. Want me to read the whole bio? I thought you already did. I don't hide anything about myself, Doofus. I'm an open book. People know about me. There's nothing to hide. It was all done out in the open. I don't think, yeah, I don't think Doofus, Fred would not treat me this way. I am a princess, Maina. I am. Come up on the panel, Doofus. Could be Bosco. I think you might be right. Bye, Maina. Have a good whatever time it is wherever you are. Morning, night, another day. It's in the eyes. I think my eyes look a lot less crazy than they used to. That's interesting. Because I look at old photos of myself and I do see craziness there. But you're still seeing it. I don't know. It is in Iran. I know, Bubblelandia. I was a mess. But I'm not, I mean, I'm a different kind of mess, I suppose. That's nice, though. Okay, bye, Doofus. Have a good one. I hope you enjoyed looking me up and judging me. I don't know anything about you. Probably because there is nothing about you. You haven't lived. Indeed, indeed. I have a story, a tale. Yes, he can. Amen. I mean, it's the only thing that can change your heart. I did a lot of work on myself. I really did for a lot of years. Was soul searching, trying to, uncover the truth. But the only thing that could really change anything was God. It's not me. Oh, thank you, Stacy. Says I'm an interesting person who grows and evolves. Am I right wing now? I don't think I'm right wing. I think I'm conservative. But I don't feel like I've never really identified with that. I'm not left wing. I'm not right wing. I feel like I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I am. I don't know. I don't think about it. It's not, it's not to me a thing. It's not to me a thing, I guess. It's not a part of my identity. I don't identify. Hmm. That's a good quote. What's that? Is this from the Bible? It looks like it's from the Bible. Where in the Bible? Is this in Proverbs? I mean, I agree with this. I told you all about the book I read by Laura Schlesinger. What was it? It was called The Proper Care and Feeding of Husbands. And it really had a lot of good wisdom in it. And a lot of it was drawn on her counseling people when they would call into her radio program, or specifically counseling women. And she also had men like reach out about their frustrations with women. So I found it like a really informative book in terms of understanding how women like undermine and hurt their husbands, how they cause emotional rifts in their relationship and how they lead to the breakdown of their own marriages, by basically disregarding their husband's feelings and also like dishonoring him. It's a big thing. So yeah, it always feels so wrong. It's like the number one thing. I think you don't have this person's back and like in the right way with the truth and with like love. And yeah, I just we're getting a lot of examples, I guess, in the mainstream of this not being a thing, and it's been a thing for a long time. It's always been a thing. I mean, you have like churches where women will sit around and bash their husbands. They'll have a women's group, and it's like they're all complaining to each other about like giving embarrassing things or details. It's like the least you can do is speak well of this person and honor them. Like it's just honor. It's crazy. I don't know. That was a long time ago. Atheist communists. Well, welcome back to the channel. Good to see people still pop in. That was a while ago. Atheist? Dang. That was a while ago. Pump iron. Oh my goodness. Aw, y'all so nice. Perhaps you're right. What branch of Christianity am I in now? I'm not in a branch of Christianity. What do you mean? What do you mean, what branch of Christianity am I in? I'm not even thinking that way. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not into that stuff so much, thinking about that stuff. Like, I don't know, doctrinal questions. I guess they're fun to ponder, but I'm really not that educated about it. And I don't even think that's where I need to be focused right now. So, oh, that's nice, Stacy. Oh, yeah, I know that about Fake Sagan. Yeah. Well, he and I were friends. I haven't been in touch with him, though. I heard that he still goes live sometimes, but I don't know what his channel is, or, and I know he's had different ones. So it'd be nice to get to reconnect with him. He sent me like a communist flag years ago, actually, back when, when we were so little, so young. He sent me his little communist flag. And I think I still have it. I might have gotten rid of it in the last move. I might have given it away, but I might still have it too. I suppose so. I suppose so. All right. And how you're behaving as Satan is still your daddy, Doofus. Is Satan your daddy right now? You're right about that. That's not me, though. Irish Repub doesn't like the splinter identities of it. I mean, that's not who. Is there something wrong with him? He had a live-in lover at the time. He said he wasn't interested, but later on I heard that he was saying things about me, how he found me attractive. So I don't know. Maybe he was. But he never made any advances like that. He was never. I mean, we were ideologically different at that time anyway. He was like an anarchist, and he had Ocean Avani. They lived together. So that was some times. Oh, I think that was. I thought that jacket looked cool. Yeah. It's well, I need a bit more than that even then. Even at that time of my life. What does this say? Why your DP is like that? Are you talking to me? What does that mean? Interesting. Maybe modern gentleman. I forget that about people. I forget that they do that. Oh my, he was doing fitness videos. Oh dear. I mean, I've done embarrassing videos too, so I can't judge him at all for that. We've all done silly things here in these internets. And now what? I just do my little live streams where I paint my nails and respond to whatever randomness comes my way, really. But it's nice to hear from you, Seinfeld. That was a long time ago you were watching me, but you stayed subscribed, and now you're here again. I guess to respond to like the question about what branch of Christianity I'm into, I'm attending a Baptist church, but I don't really. That doesn't really matter as much to me. I do find that I agree with them about a lot of things, and I like that it's conservative in a certain regard. Like people aren't going crazy. During worship, there's a level of decorum and respectability about it. But I don't really get into all that like mess about how do we, I think a lot of that stuff is just, what branch I'm part of. Like a lot of that is just, I think, beside the point, and like in terms of being in a church family and like contributing there as an individual, I think that's more important than necessarily all of the doctrinal questions and that kind of thing, because it's about the spirit, and if the spirit moves you to join a particular church at a certain time, then that's what it is. Oh God. Indeed. No, I don't. I mean, I have a video titled, or it's like a live. You'd have to go to my channel and click on the lives. I have one called When God Leads You Out of Egypt. Maybe that might be helpful for you. But you have to understand, like, the atheist period of my life was so short. It was like the worst period of my life as well, when I was totally godless. I had some supernatural experiences that were terrifying. I went through a haunting, which kind of led me back to spirituality, quote unquote, which was really just occultism. I got sucked back into the occult, which I had been into, as a teenager. And I got more interested in those practices and doing different divination. I started working as like a tarot reader. Doing spiritual workings for others, just, bad times. And I kind of had an awakening in 2020. Different visions I had, things I saw, revelations that happened that spring and summer that brought me back to identifying as a Christian. And so it was kind of in this spot for about a year. And then I made a friendship with an older woman, and she drugged me into her church. And then I got stuck involved there, and that kind of helped me spiritually grow as a Christian. Like, it took about a year to root, really, and start to let the false self die. And then it kind of, I mean, it's been a process, though, of letting go. Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, a lot of them do. I don't know if all of them do. Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to be found. Well, good for him. You're Catholic, but you don't pray for the Pope. We're supposed to pray for our leaders, whether they're evil or not. We have to pray that they have good judgment. And that even if they're evil, God finds some way to use them for ultimate good. Oneness. Is that like Unitarianism or something? I don't know. Interesting. There be two things that grieve my heart, and a third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepareth such a one for the sword, indeed. Captain Awesome? Yes, I do. He was an idiot. I think a lot of things. I think there was a desire for power, a desire for like control and power, and also, you know, in some ways just a desire to deal with the spiritual attack that I felt I was under. I didn't have any tools to deal with it. I cried out to God, but it didn't get relieved. And maybe it was that I was so half-hearted about it. I don't know. But, or maybe it's like, you know, I don't know what it was, but that set me down the path of looking into techniques of spiritual cleansing, that kind of thing, like cleansing a space of negative energy and that kind of thing. And, you know, protecting yourself from spiritual attack. And I definitely was under severe spiritual attack for a long time. I didn't realize it, though. And there's occultism in both of my family lines, I think, and just a natural propensity towards having visions as well and being able to perceive spirits. So, hi, you can get up here if you want. For a minute, you can get up here, but I can't pet you. I can't pet you because of my nails. I can't pet you right now, sweetie. I'm sorry. You a good boy, though. So yeah, I think it was a lot of things. There's an attractiveness about it. I also have kind of a dark feminine persona. I've always been attracted to darkness. You know, wallowing in that, the goth life, it felt like just a natural inclination to get into, that kind of thing. And I don't regret it necessarily because, again, it all can be worked for good. The knowledge I have of things, and it's helpful, The knowledge I have of things is helpful. The fact that I've overcome these things and see the wickedness of them as well, like the true wickedness of these practices, that's helpful as well. But yeah, I think what drew that to me was like a false sense of power and a desire for protection. And I guess a lack of faith in God. My dad was kind of into that. My dad was a pagan, so I didn't even include that. My dad had pagan beliefs. So, oh yeah, of course. Of course. Goodbye, Tomas. Have a good night. Yeah, I should probably get off of here soon too. My nails aren't really done. Read our comments first. Hello. What a good kid. He's Mr. Kitty. All right, S.A. Brady, have a good workout. What made me an atheist in the first place? The devil? Oh my God. Yes, I've been baptized. I think, yeah, Shira's Shira's named after Asherah, the goddess Asherah. It's interesting that she chose that name specifically. So she is trying to embody some kind of like divine feminine principle of femininity. Divine feminine principle of femininity. She's trying to, she's kind of filling that void in our culture in a lot of ways. She kind of makes up for but I don't know that it's, well, I mean, it depends. Our culture is Christian, but it's so straight, so far from God. What made me an atheist though in the first place? That's a really good question. I have to say, like I said, no, you're so good. You're so good. Oh, so good, kitty. It was the worst time of my life. I was miserable. I had no faith in God. I, was into this pure, like, logical, like, well, yeah, I don't need illogical logic. Harsh Marxist. Like, I wanted to be a good communist, and they're atheists, and so they put their faith only in like the revolution. How stupid. I don't know. I think it was a lot of things. I think it was my own wickedness, my own godlessness. And as I said, it was the worst time of my life. And I went through such a powerful spiritual attack at that time. I think that's part of it too. Because after I was saved, like I really did go through that. Once I was saved, I really went through a lot of crazy experiences that really did. I just didn't respond well to them. Someone's asked if I've repented. Yes. Toucan. Hey, Toucan. Look, you got fans. Toucan fans. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. A lot of people, a lot more people are possessed than I think we give it credit for. But yeah, I've seen a person in that state, and it's terrifying. Terrifying. Ugh. You're so good. You're so good. What a good kitty. There's some good kitties out there, but this is ridiculous. He's so good at being a good kitty. You smell nice. Hmm. I mean, I'd really rather not give into that. I'd really not give into that. I'd really rather not talk about that particular experience. That's true, modern gentleman. But I saw somebody's like eyes. I've seen people's eyes change a couple of times where something came into them, it seemed, or something took over them. And then they started acting like in frightening ways. Um, One I saw the eyes go like totally black. This person's like eyes were hazel and then they went totally black. Well, it takes a while to paint one's nails, Gregatron. Doing your nails, especially the way I do them, it takes a while. I like them to look good. All right. And I didn't even do that good of a job tonight. I kind of did them sloppily. It usually takes me a couple hours. So, and then I've been chatting and getting interrupted by the cat. But yeah, I mean, there are people are, a lot of people are, I guess that's what I love about JLP as well. He talks about the spirits that possess people, and especially the spirit of anger, because I know I had it in me. Do I still have it in me? What do you think? You're the one who has to deal with me. Did I yell at you the other day? I did. I yelled at you. Nice point fire. Nice thought. Possibly. I just mind my business. Yeah, I remember I was talking about Joe Biden. Poor old Joe. What do you think? What time is it? 8:19. Yoda says I'm growing in Christ. Indeed I am. Hey, why don't we kind of go into this since I've got it here. I don't have to go just yet. Got my insert from church this week, the study guide, and they're doing this summer of Psalms. So I guess we're going to be looking at the Psalms over the summer each Sunday and kind of interpreting different ones. But yeah, they had Psalm 1. I don't know what version this is, but I'll read it. Psalm 1. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yield its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers. The wicked are not so, but are like chaff that the wind drives away. Therefore the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. He does not look dirty, you nasty person. He got a good brush last night. Did you like the image? I get why Joel wanted to put me in a burqa now. I see it. It's like enticing, isn't it? Night night. I know Biden does look pretty rough. Goodbye, modern gentleman. Matthew said it was hot. Dang, Matthew. Aw, he thought it was a burqa too. Are you my little burqa cat? My little burqa kitty. You so burqa. You so burqa. Yeah, I got a new, my internet is slow. I did get a new modem that I need to install. I haven't done it yet, but I did get a new faster speed internet modem. So my internet will be picking up soon. I don't know. They say it's slow. It doesn't appear slow to me, but maybe it is. I guess I don't know. Like, how fast do we need to be going? Like, really? Are we not going fast enough? Okay, so this is an interesting question. In what ways might you place yourself under the influence of the wicked, whether knowingly or not? Listening to chat, definitely. The chat has definitely gotten into my mind a few times, influencing me in ways I don't like. I have to stand guard about it sometimes and be like, I don't accept what's being said here. No, Stacy, they don't. They don't pay for my Wi-Fi. What the heck? All right. I mean, you can place yourself under the influence of the wicked. I mean, taking counsel of them, asking somebody who you know is, not righteous for their counsel, maybe, or just not being careful about the company you keep, not judging people by their virtues or not, not having a good read on the people that you surround yourself with. Or you can just end up around them randomly. I've been in those situations too, where just randomly it's like, okay, the people I'm around are something wrong with them. Don't you be showing off your butt on camera. I don't want you showing off your butt. You better not. All right. In what ways might you place yourself under the influence of God? I mean, prayer. Prayer is probably the biggest thing. Quiet time in prayer. Seeking out relationships with people who you know are seeking God, seeking their counsel. Doing righteous works. Being righteous. I don't know. Being righteous. How might one's connection with God lead to fruitfulness in life? I mean, it just does. It just does. God builds. The devil destroys. The devil, anything the devil creates has, you think you build something, but it's not real. It has a faulty foundation. God is the rock, the firm foundation that cannot be moved or swayed. Bikini show. Yeah, you know what? And Court said that Court gave me a donation. It was so nice. Shout out to Court. In his little comment on the coffee he bought, he went to my Ko-fi and bought me a coffee. He said he wanted me to model it. I'm like, I'm not going to model a bathing suit on camera. I mean, how am I going to even do that? How am I going to film that, for one? And like, I don't know. It doesn't seem right. But yeah, connection with God leads to fruitfulness. I mean, you're not looking for fulfillment in other things. You're not distracted as much. And when you're not distracted, you're like able to be in the present more and do what God has put in front of you. How might one's connection with God lead to fruitfulness? It also just makes you, I don't know, it allows love to flow through you. And when love flows through you, it enriches everything around you. Your relationships are strengthened. Your community is strengthened when you have that. I know. Can you believe? I didn't know Court was. I know. I'm sorry. I just called out Court. Court's getting me too'd right now. Y'all, I know. I'm giving him a break. It's, he's making a boomer joke. I'm playing Pogs. Do people play with Pogs? Okay, let's see. What's the fifth question? What observations do you make about the contrast between the way of the righteous and the way of the wicked? Yeah, I love the imagery of a tree being planted by streams of water, having that abundant source. It reminds me of the banks of a river and how lush they are and teeming with life they are. And then talking about the way of the wicked being like the chaff on wheat that the wind drives away. It's just it crumbles and it falls apart. It's there's nothing enduring about being that way. So one is firmly rooted and fed with life-giving water, and the other is dried up and blows in the wind and is of little consequence. Yeah, the way of the wicked will perish. I mean, it leads to death. Being wicked leads to death. sin is death as well. It's the wages of it, right? It takes a toll. You spiritually die. I mean, or it can lead to actual death. Like, people don't really consider it. Being that serious, but it is. Overall, why might it be considered worth it, quote unquote, good old pastor, to be right with God, both in Old Testament times and today? I mean, I feel like that's obvious. Because to not be is to perish. It's to do nothing of consequence. It's to be blown around in the wind. It's to not be fruitful, in life. To not get the most you can and not do the most you can with what you've been given. All right, last question. How might your connection with God prove fruitful, not only for yourself, but also for your family, your church family, and the community at large? I mean, when you're better, you give better. When you're better, you do better. And what I've seen for myself, I'm a much better person in my relationships with others. I remember, there's times when I'll think about ways that I behaved that to me now just seems so insane. With family members or with friends or in my community, things that just don't make sense. And now, I see with clear eyes, what the right thing is. I mean, not always, but I feel like I cause less trouble about me, I'm freer in my movement. I'm freer, but I'm also I'm doing more in a lot of ways by doing less. I'm causing less trouble. I'm causing less of a disturbance. I feel like I used to be a disturbance, My energy was chaotic. And even if I wasn't the worst person out there and I wasn't, doing the most destructive acts, it didn't really matter because even in an interpersonal conversation, you can do harm. You know what I mean? And now it's I do less harm. I'm not causing unnecessary rifts. I'm able to speak the truth more clearly and plainly. I don't have to complicate it. I don't have to intellectualize it. I can just speak more clearly. But anyway. God, you're just commenting. I don't know. Doofus, I think you need to get off the computer. And so do I. I'm going to go. So it's been fun. Thanks for hanging out with me. And while I did my nails. Oh, Fred, you're late. I'm just wrapping up, Fred. I'm wrapping up. Dang, Matthew. That's tough. Visit with Fred. I'm too tired, Yoda. I need to get myself to bed. I didn't stay up late last night, but I didn't sleep well. So I do kind of need to get in bed at the appropriate time, you know? So, but indeed they do, Dijon Pa. By a landslide. I mean, when you're going out of your way to purposely look unattractive to men, they pick up on that. Some of them may still see like your features and see that, you are pretty, but when you've got a crazy hairdo and like are just looking ridiculous. I don't know. Interesting comment though. You told her to get a grip. I mean, yeah, she really, I don't know. I don't know what to advise. I don't know the situation, but yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. Like I said, have a good night, and I'll see y'all the next time, whenever that is. Bye.